Hi, I'm Rob from roblandphoto.com, and we're going to have a really quick review at a little gadget, I guess you'd call it, that I picked up from Asda yesterday because it was in the clearance bin. So if you're in the UK and you live near Asda, get down to the photo stroke computer, media department, where all the DVDs and all that sort of stuff, and you might be able to pick up one of these. I got this Hama lens pen for £3.80 instead of £7.48. They're probably cheaper on eBay. Haven't bothered checking, but it was something I saw and thought, hey, that's something I could really use. Now, one of the problems with photography and cameras in general is keeping these little things clean, your lenses, because if you're anything like me, you're whipping your lenses on and off all the time, you're getting finger marks on them, they're getting smudges, they're getting dust on them, down the beach, getting spray on them, all sorts of nasty things that are sticking to the front of the lenses, which doesn't really matter too much, but then you've also got the back of the lenses as well. And traditionally, all I tended to use was, let's get rid of that lens cap, was one of these, a little puffer to pop stuff off. Works in most cases, and then one of these, a lens cloth. Now this is fine, I'm probably still going to use this, but the problem with the lens cloth, again, I tend to stuff these into the corner of my my camera bag, and if I'm honest, I probably use them for cleaning other things as well on my camera, like the back LCD screen. And the big problem with that is that if you use your lens cloth or cloths to clean the back of your camera, when you're taking a photo, you're pressing your face up against the camera. Well, all the oils from your skin are going onto the back of the camera. You're smearing them all off with this, so they get impregnated into your lens cloth, and then you're putting them onto your lens, so you're getting oils on, which obviously are very, very difficult to take off. So I thought I should reuse something dedicated. So I saw this and thought, I'm going to buy that, I'm going to give it a go. And I've had a few goes with it, and it's really good. Now, you've still got to use a blower to blow the big dust particles off, because you never want to be brushing anything or putting anything onto your lens when there could be specks of sand or grit on it, because all you're going to end up doing is scratching it. So what I tend to do is use the puffer, get all the heavy stuff off, and then you can use the lens pen, and watch this. If you we've got a little brush, and then what you can then do is you can gently brush all the other little specks of crap that we've got in your lens off, and that tends to get most of you've probably got 99% of everything off. However, there could well be a spot on there that's particularly stubborn, and this is where you use the other end of the lens pen. So we take that off, and there's like a little felt circle, little felt pad, and very gingerly, again, remember we've blown the lens off, we've used the brush to get the heavy stuff off, we just use this, and in little circular motions we can just clean those little spots, not pressing hard, just gently cleaning them, and you'll tend to find that will get rid of most of the more stubborn sort of stains. I'm thinking like water spots and things like that, and that will get rid of them. Now, as soon as, it's very, very important, however, with this end, that you don't contaminate that. We don't want any grit, we don't want any sand, we don't want anything of it. So as soon as you've finished it, lid back on, and then that can go in your camera bag. Remember, you should always treat things like lens pens and lens cloths as disposable items. When they get dirty, when they get contaminated, throw them away, because for the price of one of these, you can buy dozens and dozens and dozens of these compared to ruining one of your lenses by putting a scratch across it. However, I will add a final thing before we sign off today. Don't get too use a rude word then. Don't be too bothered about scratches to the front elements of your lens. It doesn't really make that much difference. Yeah, you might get a little bit of flare in certain situations if the sun's coming in from certain ways, but if you do a search on the internet for does a scratch lens matter, I think it's lensrentals.com did an article about it, and they actually took some photographs and said, right, you know, how badly scratched do you think that this lens is of these photographs? Well, not very badly. And then they showed you it, and what they'd done is they'd taken a hammer and smashed the front element completely of a lens, so it was just all zigzags, and yet the lens could still take photographs. Because if you can imagine, when you're using a lens and you're focusing on something that's 50, 100 feet away, it's not going to see those little scratches on the front of your lens, in the same way that when you're standing in front of a chain fence and you're focusing something distance, you can't see it, can you? Because your focal plane is different. So there we go. So don't get too uptight about these things. But the Hama lens pen, a great little tool to have in your camera bag. To use the you still use your blower just to get the heavy stuff off, then use the brush to move stuff the blower doesn't get rid of, and then the little felt pad to get rid of those stubborn stains. Well, my name's Rob from robandphoto.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.